Hello and welcome to my channel, On the Hook Crochet, where we talk about wearable crochet style and some other things too. Let's find out what's been on the hook and what's been on the needle today. I hope everyone had a great weekend. I know I did. I love to have great days and great weekends. I make it a point to make every day as much fun as I can possibly make it. And if anything comes along that I don't like, I just try to brush it off. That's just me. That's the way I live my life, and it makes for very happy days. Most days are very happy. Not every, but most days are very happy. So I hope you've had a good weekend. I hope that also you are looking forward to Christmas and being with family and friends. I encourage that. I think it's a good thing for your soul to be with family and friends. So if at all possible, I think it's a great idea to do that. Today is Monday, December 14th, and it is several things to remember the day by. Today is the remembrance of the death of George Washington, who served our country for 3 or 4 decades, I think 4 decades in the government and also in the military, so our hats off to George Washington. Today is also National Alabama Day. For all you who live in Alabama or love Alabama, today is your day. And then also it's National Monkey Day. Today is National Monkey Day, and this is the day when we think about monkeys and how they're put together and how much fun they are to look at and to observe and to kind of wonder what they're thinking. That's what I always wonder about monkeys. What they're thinking, because they look so human, but they're really not. You know, they're not quite there. So hope y'all remember that. Today are 3 special days that were all wrapped up in one. And today on my show, I would like to do several things. I had asked my viewers and subscribers a few videos back if they liked the way I was doing my show now. If they liked the fact that I was just moving from one subject to another without having a very strict order. And so I think I'm going to do that today. I've just grabbed some things and put them on my desk. I have finished objects and all that. I have whips. I just want to show you what I'm working on right now and having a great time doing so. First of all, what I'm wearing. That's easy to start with. Today I'm wearing the Kimberly cowl, which is done in the Colorscape Red Heart yarn, and it's 187 yards on a skein, and I'm sure this didn't even take a whole skein. I doubt it did. But it's Colorscape yarn by Red Heart, and this is actually the color Bangkok, which I ordered not too long ago, and I'm working on a scarf in this. Actually, it's a shawl. I'm working on a shawl with this, and I didn't want to talk about it just yet because I'm hopefully going to write a pattern for it. It's going to take me a while. Shawls are not the easiest thing for me to write up, to make easy enough for everybody to be able to do. So I'm working on that right now. But this is the type yarn that I used to make this Kimberly cowl. This pattern is available on my Etsy shop. It's very easy to make. This actual cowl I made, it's all made in a flat piece and then it's sewn together at the back. And this one measures 38 inches around. So the diameter is 38 inches and it's 10 inches wide this way. So however many rows that took, it was 10 inches wide and 38 inches around. And I really like this particular length. I thought I liked one that a little bit shorter than this, but actually if you have a drapey yarn like Colorscapes is, it's pretty drapey for the size 4 that it is and the acrylic that it is. I really like the fact that it drapes beautifully down. It doesn't get up under my neck, and the Kimberly cowl pattern is really easy to do, but it looks difficult when someone's just looking at it. It's not just double crochet. It's done in shells, and they're kind of stacked on each other, so it gives it a kind of a neat look. But this is the Kimberly cowl done in Colorscapes, and I'll show that to you. And the length of it, I'll stand up and show you how far down it comes. On me, it's 38 inches, so it's about 17-inch drop from the neck. So you'll see that it hangs down pretty well. It's very flat along the edges. I really like the way this fits around my neck, and it's not hot, but it's beautiful to wear with a color that matches it in the Colorscape. So because this had purple in it, I'm wearing purple, and also purple is the color of the season. So I wanted to show you this. This is what I am wearing today. Now, moving along, I want to show you a pattern that one of my lovely subscribers bought for me from CJ Brady Designs. And I just received this morning. I don't know if she sent it yesterday or today, but I received the notice that this was out there for me. And so I went out and I got the PDF and printed it off, and this is what it looks like. It's called Among the Wildflowers. I wish I could get that to focus. There we go. Among the Wildflowers is the name of it, and it's by CJ Brady Designs. And you can go right out on her website. I think it's actually an Etsy shop. You can just Google CJ Brady Designs, B-R-A-D-Y, Brady Designs, and you will see that it comes up in several different Google searches. You can just click on one of them and find her. And she makes lots of beautiful shawls and scarves. And I was just really impressed with this pattern. It is written very, very well, and it's easy to understand. It's a long pattern. It's like mine. It's, 4 or 5 pages long, 4 pages long, I guess. And it even has a chart in it, which is nice, but I don't really like charts too much. For me, I'd rather read a pattern, and the problem is with the pattern, it has to be exactly written perfectly, or you lose your way. And that's a good thing about having a chart in addition to the pattern. So I usually go by the pattern, and if I run into a problem, I'll look at the chart and maybe I can find out what I did wrong. But right now I'm on row 7, and let me show you this. I went to my stash, and all you need is 2 ounces of fingering weight, which I know some of y'all have. Now, maybe not everybody likes fingering weight yarn, but I love it. It just takes a long time to crochet with. So if you hold it with another yarn or hold it with mohair, for example, it goes a lot faster. But a fingering weight yarn makes a very beautiful scarf, cowl, or shawl because they're so drapey, because the yarn is so tiny. So I wanted to show you this. I've done, I'm on row, hold on a minute, I'm on row 7. I'm starting row 7. And I wanted to show you this. This is the beginning down here. And this is what it looks like. It's very beautiful. It has shells as well, just like some of mine do. I like the way it's put together, and she's increased just a little bit here. And what we're doing is we are increasing up to the middle of the shawl, up to the middle of the scarf, and then we're decreasing the other half, and then we'll put an edging on one side. So it shouldn't take long to make. And I thank you so much for sending me this pattern. It's a very lovely present for me for Christmas. So I appreciate that very, very much. And I am working on this. So hopefully we'll have it done by Monday so I can show it to y'all and you can see what it looks like. Now, moving along, you know that I order a lot of yarn from Eat Sleep Knit, and that is one of my favorite websites to order from because they have all the Malabrigo yarns, and those are some of my favorites right now. They're not the only yarn that I use. Of course, I use big box yarn, which is great, this Red Heart yarn. I use fingering weight yarn from other websites. I use Knit Crate yarn. But I also like to buy from Eat Sleep Knit because they have a great selection of Malabrigo. They also have, in Malabrigo, they have the worsted size, they have the DK size, and I think they also have fingering as well. So my favorite is the Rios and the Arroyo, and those are the DK, the worsted and the DK weights of Malabrigo. And because every time I order, they send me this little card, and you fill it out, and it's you scratch off the little silver parts, and what it does is it gives you a match, and if you get 3 to match, then you send it back to them and they send you the prize or whatever it is. It's a very cute little raffle, I guess you could call it, and I've entered it a couple of times, and I've gotten one thing from them. It was a little project bag with their name on it. It's called Eat Sleep Knit. It's a project bag, and it has their website down here, but it's a good size bag. I really like it. It's a nice color green. It's really quite huge. Look at that. That's a really big project bag, and that will hold a blanket or a large sweater. So I'm in the market for one of those. I have several of those projects going, so I'm going to use that. I just got that in the mail, so I wanted to show it to you. I'm making 3 blankets, as you know, for my grandsons for Christmas, and I'm making them out of Bernat blanket yarn. I finished one, and here it is. This is I finally finished this. This is the gray and ivory striped blanket, and let me show you that. I sent this pattern out to all my community members a couple of weeks ago, and unfortunately I hadn't even finished it yet, but I did write the whole pattern, and also the edging worked out just fine because I'd already tried it on another blanket. But everything's all finished now, and this blanket is 35 by 50, so it's 35 wide. That's how wide it is, and I made it as tall as one of the little boys. I can't imagine making it much taller. I was going to 60, but I only really wanted to do something they could manage. So this is a 50-inch long blanket. It's 35 by 50. Really like it. I used a foundation, single crochet for the setup row, and then on, as the pattern explains that I sent out to you, and it worked out just great. It's going to be really, I think he's really going to like it. It's so soft, and it's the perfect size for one of the boys. So I finished that. So this weekend I started blanket number 2. So I only have one to go after this, but this is the twilight and ivory colors of the blanket, and this is for grandson number 2. So this is also 35 wide, and I'll probably make it the same size as the other one. They'll all probably be the same size, but that's going very well. I'm using a P-hook 11.5 like I described in the pattern, and I actually ordered on Amazon, I ordered a clover hook this size. They do have one that is, I believe, 11 millimeters, and that's close enough. And I'm going to see if maybe it doesn't make my hand as tired. This is pretty slick, and I've been using this. I'm using it just fine, but I ordered the clover to see if maybe it would help my hand feel a little bit better. My hands are a little bit tired from finishing that other blanket and starting this one. I've got all the yarn, so I need to finish up these projects. Another project that I'm working on, as I talked about last video, is this vest pattern that I'm making from Basic Stitch. This is Basic Stitch Golden Heather. Really like it. It's really soft, easy to work with. And I am making a vest pattern that just kind of came to me, and I thought, well, this is just really interesting. I hope I can make it work. So what I'm doing is this is the back of the vest, and I'm making this come around under the arm, going up on the back, and the front will be ribbed going vertically. This is horizontal ribs, if you can see that. This is horizontal ribs. It's very soft. I like this. I like this yarn. I did when I made the little sweater for my grandson. Actually, I made a couple of sweaters for my grandson. One of them actually fit. So I'm working on this when I have time. Usually when I'm on the phone, I'll pick this up because it's easy and you can keep it down here where nobody really sees you working on it. But you know, I don't think real hard when I'm working on something like this if I'm just doing rows. So it doesn't affect my work ability. It just allows me to be a multitasker when I'm on the phone. Now for a bit of a book review. I am a collector of crochet books. I have quite a library of those over there and over there. I also have a whole library of other books that I've enjoyed reading. Mostly informative books. They're not fiction. They're mostly informative books. And when I see a new crochet book come out, I always order it. Especially if it's someone that has a YouTube channel or an Etsy shop or something, and they are writing about their work. I really like that. I'm not real enthralled with the 1,000 basic stitches of crochet. I use those though, I really do. I use those as a reference book, but for reading a book and enjoying the different patterns that are in the book, I really like this book. And this is called Making with Meaning. This is a brand new book, and the author's name is Jessica Carey, and she has a website called The Hook Nook, and also a blog post. She does not have a YouTube channel as far as I know. But this is called Making with Meaning. And this is a book about crocheting. And she's a very good crocheter, but she crochets her projects. And in between the patterns that are in this book, and they're very good patterns, in between the patterns, she talks about why she wrote the pattern. She talks about what to meditate on when you're working on this pattern. None of her patterns are using very tiny thread. Most of them, I mean, not every single one, but she has dishcloths, amigurumi, shawls, scarves, a cowl, a kind of a poncho sweater, a hat. She's all over the place. A blanket. She has something of everything in here. And all and through the front also are lessons on how to crochet. They're beautiful colored pictures, and they actually are very good. I went through a couple of the stitch pictures, and they're very easy to follow. I really like this book. It was $24.99 on Amazon, and I think they only charged me $19.99. I don't know if it was on special or if it was just a promotional thing, maybe for the first month that she has the book out or whatever. Sometimes you can catch them on a little bit lower price, but I didn't even know that till I went to the checkout box and it said $19.99. So I thought, I'll take that. But I was willing to pay $24.99 for this. It's a beautiful book. And it's also got the flaps in the front where you can mark your spot. I like that. The paper is nice and thick. It's very sturdy. It's done in beautiful colors. Look at that. Some of the pages are done in, they're just done in beautiful colors. The photography is really nice. I'm really not getting that around there where I should. The photography is really pretty in here. Look at that. And she's a beautiful girl. She's got 2 children and a husband, and she's just trying to write a book about how to meditate and crochet at the same time. I believe that I understand what she's talking about here. Crochet is very meditative, and if I was a knitter, it might be knitting, it might be the same way for knitting. But what I did was I found this pattern in here, and I really liked it. And I liked it so much that I made it. Now, this is called her Sensible Storage Basket. I don't know if you can see that. There's a picture of it right there. And it's made with Lion Brand woolies, thick and quick. And I had a whole lot of Lion Brand woolies, thick and quick, in my downstairs craft room. I remembered that I had it down there, and I actually had this particular color, which is Hudson Bay. Oh, I wish you could see that. I hope that is focusing. It's a beautiful wool. It's a light background, and it has some very beautiful, almost pastel-y colors mixed into it. It is not dark. My actual woolies is dark. So I got it out anyway because I thought I'm going to make one of her patterns and see if I like them. They're very, very clear. They're very easy to make. This has 38 rows on, and most of the rows are different. And there are a lot of instructions, but they're very easy to follow. I really liked it. It was made with and I had the exact hook, the NP hook by Clover, which is a 10mm hook. And here's the yarn that I use. It's the Woolies Thick and Quick. And this color is, let me find the color on here. This color is Abalone, the name of the town. And it's a gray with a tiny little pink or purplish thread through it. Just a little bit of pinky purple, mostly gray and dark. And I would have never bought this again. I bought this to make a sweater, and I actually bought this to knit a sweater last year, and I just totally, it was all in a bag with the knitting needles and everything, and I had not even started it. So I thought, well, you know what, I can crochet something with that this weekend. So I went ahead and used that. It took about 1.5 big skeins of woolies to make this. And this is the basket that I made out of Jessica Carey's book, Making with Meaning. This is the bag, And the turnover is my part at the top. I turned it down to give it a little more stability. It does flop just a little bit in the middle. Hers doesn't seem to do that. So I don't know why that is. I made it exactly by the pattern. But this is a useful item. I will be putting something in here, maybe toys for the boys up in their little bedroom that they have. I might throw all their toys in here, and that'd be kind of nice because it'll look nice in their room, and it'll hold a lot. Look how big that is. That's a very large basket. And I sat down and made this on Friday afternoon and Saturday afternoon. It only took me a couple afternoons to make that. I did work on it at my desk. I worked on it in the living room. So I worked on it whenever I sat down. I wanted to finish it and show it to y'all. It was a pattern out of this book, and one of the many. I really like this book. So my review of this book is it's worth the money. It's got some beautiful patterns in it and some nice thoughts from Jessica, and you kind of get to know her as you read the book. So I give a big thumbs up for this one. I really like this book. I really do. It's a wonderful, wonderful book, and it looks pretty on your shelf. It's a very beautiful book, very beautifully done. So congratulations, Jessica. I hope it goes well for you. Now, let's move on to an embroidery part of my program. If you're one of my Instagram followers, you will know that I had started an embroidery project probably last Monday or Tuesday. I was looking for a project to do that I could finish in, a few days or a week, or whatever. I was just looking for something like that, and I found something here. I was looking on the internet for an embroidery pattern for Christmas because I wanted to do a Christmas embroidery project, and I found this pattern on an Etsy shop called Bare Roots, Bareroots, Bare Roots, and this is a large embroidery pattern. This is the whole thing here, and then she's broken it up into little pillow pieces too that you can take parts of the embroidery pattern and just make something small with it, like a lavender sachet or a Christmas ornament pillow, something like that. And I went ahead and ordered it. I thought I had to order this and it had to be mailed to me. But it only took a couple of days. She must have put it right in the mail to me, and since she was close, like in the Carolinas, I think. But anyway, she sent that over to me, and I immediately made a copy of the pattern. I don't want to compromise the pattern because this is a paid pattern, but I'm just going to quickly show this. This is the Merry Christmas potpourri is what I call it. It's just a whole lot of little scenes from Christmas. And it's also done in the Grandma Moses style. I don't know if you know who that is. You can always Google her. But she was an early American artist and did very primitive drawings and paintings. Her work is famous. I'm not a huge fan, but I do think it's very interesting. I think it's very, very interesting. And when I saw this pattern, I thought, this looks like Grandma Moses. Now, the nice lady who designed this, I guess her name is Cindy, from the Pattern Hutch. She's the owner of the Pattern Hutch. Let me find out who the designer is. The designer of this pattern is Barri Sue Gaudet, Gaudet, and her designs are called Bare Root Designs, and she also has Etsy shops and all that. I will put her contact information down in the description box if you are interested. She has lots of patterns. This is not the only one she had, but she had very good instructions. But where I went on a different tact is I made a copy of the pattern, and then I traced it onto a piece of muslin that I had with some carbon paper, and I thought, you know what, I'm not going to use DMC floss. I had two of these, the white and the black, and I did use these two, but I needed lots of colors because it's a very colorful pattern for Christmas. And so I reached in and decided I was going to use my Romanian floss that I bought several months ago when I was on an embroidery kick, and I thought, I've got to have that. It's beautiful, beautiful floss. Let me get it up here where you can see it. All different colors. It's made in Romania, and it is called Pearl Cotton, and it's at Cindy Blackberg's collection. She is the designer. It's hand-dyed floss, and it is on the website Valdani, and all that information was on one of my videos, but I'll try to dig it out and put it underneath this one too. That is one box that I bought, and then I bought another box. I've never used either one of these. This is 3-strand floss. That was 1 strand. This is 3-strand floss. This is the other box that I bought. It has a lot more yellows and golds in it, and I really love it. It is so beautiful. Let me get it back here. Maybe that would be see a little bit better color there. Very, very beautiful. Very beautiful. It says Merry Christmas, and there are all kinds of little designs on here. Like there's a Christmas tree with little things hanging. It looks like a Charlie Brown Christmas tree. And there's the nativity scene right in the middle. There's Santa and his reindeer. And see how Grandma Moses-ish those are. There's no real detail to them. There's some detail. Actually, I found it a little bit difficult to embroider because it was so small, but I did manage to get finished. So that's Santa and the reindeer, and then the little homes down here. All these colors. There's a little snowman over here. I don't know if you can see him. And then Merry Christmas, and then the lights across the top. The hearts across the top. This was not the easiest embroidery project I've ever done. I like the print. I think it's very beautiful. But again, it's very primitive, very whimsical. It's a little bit different. But I had a really nice frame that I had bought for another embroidery project that I haven't finished, and I reached over and I thought, I'm going to try to put this in there. And I just taped this onto the back cardboard and installed it into the frame, and it works fine, and I'll keep it up for Christmas time. I'll probably hang it on the wall, and that way I can enjoy it, and then after Christmas it'll come down and go in with my Christmas decorations, and I'll bring it back out next year. So that was just a little something I wanted to do for Christmas, for some decor around my home, and I hope you like that. I wanted to show this to you because it's all finished. I love to finish things, like FFOs, they call them in the embroidery world, finally finished objects or fully finished objects. So that's what that is, and I did that all in 1 week. That was just kind of crazy. Also, when I was looking on the internet for some Christmas designs, I came across this artist. Her name is Amy Ray, and she has on her website the Christmas collection transfer pack. I love transfers. You just iron them on there and you don't have to trace them with a ballpoint pen. That's what I did with this one, and it was so tedious, and some of the lines weren't exact, and I had to ad-lib on all the colors, which was fine. The colors were fine. In fact, I used almost none of the colors that were in the design originally. I reached into my my hand-dyed floss and used every one of those. I was just grabbing colors like crazy because it's, like I said, kind of a potpourri picture of all different Christmas items. So this is what I found on Amy Ray's site, and I'll put the description, how to get to her her website. I love books that have the spiral in the middle. You can lay them on your desk or on your table and flip through them, and they're not always trying to close up. Now, that's one thing that I really like about this particular book that I bought. This is not a book that has a lot of feelings and all that in it, writings about feelings. This is a book that just has information in it about embroidery and some of the specific stitches that you can use. And it doesn't tell you in here with these transfers exactly which stitches to use. You just figure it out. And you can use these as line drawings, or you can fill them in with satin stitch, however you want to do. I love the line drawings. I think those are so cool right now. And they take less time, and they're very easy to look at. They're not all solid colors. You know, they're just line drawings, and it's very freeing when you're embroidering that way because you can finish something in a reasonable amount of time. But this is one of the transfers, and I can't show any more. It probably isn't right for me to show those since they're copyrighted. But there's a whole book of transfers, and each one you can use 2 or 3 times. So I thought, what a great bargain. I don't remember how much it was. I'll put the price down in the description box as well. But this is the book again. This is called Christmas Collection Transfer Pack by Doodle Stitching, and the artist is Amy Ray. Now on to our giveaway today. I am excited. I'm going to give away a whole package of ice yarns. It's 8 balls of winter, let's see, it's called Lorena Colorful White Gray Shades, and beautiful white and gray. I think it's a size 3. They aren't very good about putting the size of the yarn on their ball band. I don't see it on here anywhere. If it's on there, it's too small for me to read, but anyway, that's a pretty good amount of yarn right there. You could probably convert that to a sweater or a vest or something like that. So I want to give this away this week. Now the key word was ice, and so now we're going to turn the camera to the computer and find out who wins this yarn this week. Here we are at the computer, and I have entered the URL from last Monday right there and the word ice. Let's find out how many comments that we had that were entering the giveaway today. And there were 322 comments. That's awesome. Y'all, thank you for participating. Now let's go over here and find out who wins the ice yarn for this week. There's everybody going by, and the winner is Sandra Swinson. Sandra Swinson, you have won. And the first part of your comment is Ice Ice Baby. I remember that song. Actually. So anyway, thank you, Sandra Swinson. You are the winner. And congratulations. Sandra Swinson, you are the winner of the ice yarn. So congratulations. I'll get that in the mail to you as soon as you send me your mailing address. So be sure to email that to me at the email address below in my description box. Now for next week, I am sending another 2 packages of yarn. These are Lorena Colorful, which I think Creative Grandma turned me on to these. They were awesome, and I did use them for one thing, but I don't remember what it was for. But I do have 7 balls of this particular color left, and these are beautiful orange and purple. I really like this. I made something out of it. I don't know what. This is 55% cotton, 45% acrylic. 50 grams and 176 yards on the ball, and this is what it looks like. Get it up there. It's kind of a variegated yarn, several colors all wrapped together. Very beautiful, no halo at all. Cotton and acrylic, and I have 7 balls of that to send out to the winner for next week. And then I also am sending out this Sail Summer Brown Cream and Gray ice yarn. The whole package. I've never opened it. I'm not even sure how much is in here. This is 50 grams per ball. It is the Sail Summer, and it is 90% cotton and 10% polyamide. So that's like 90 cotton, 10% nylon, sort of. Probably really very soft. It feels soft through the package. I'm not going to open this up. I'm going to just send this out to whoever wins next week. So next week's winner will receive this package and the 7 balls of ice yarn, both from Ice Yarn, but 7 balls of this Lorena Colorful as well. So those will go out to the winner next week. And be sure to put the keyword in, and this one's a little tough. This is Lorena, L-O-R-E-N-A, and I'll put it down at the bottom of the screen here. Just remember the keyword is Lorena, L-O-R-E-N-A. That's the name of this yarn. And if you'll just put that in your comment, then you'll be in the running for the giveaway next Monday. I hope you've enjoyed today's show. I was all over the place, as y'all say you like that, so that works for me because I'm not as organized as I'd like to be. and I just get everything on my desk ready to go. And if it's in a certain order, I get frustrated. So I just start from one side and go to the other side, and hopefully y'all will be entertained and maybe learn something, maybe be inspired. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. That way, if you press the bell, you'll know when I send out a video, always on Mondays, unless something drastic happens. Every now and then I'll send out an extra video during the week, so be sure you subscribe and be sure to like this video. Please do. If you've learned anything, been inspired, anything good from this video, please like this video. That helps YouTube know that you liked it, and maybe others might like it as well, and that helps me too, and that's a good way to support my YouTube channel. Also, sign up for the community. Every now and then I send out free patterns, and when you sign up, you also get a free pattern right off the bat. So sign up for the community. The link is down in the description box, and you'll be in the community and able to receive free patterns and other things from me, maybe little reminders. I'm not going to blow up your email box, so don't worry about that. So listen, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week. I'm so excited. I'm actually going to take a little trip this week, but I'll be back on Monday, and join me then when we find out what's on the hook.